Welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast, 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. I can't tell you how many times as a 20-something with no kids at all, I felt like I knew more about kids than most of those people who call themselves parents. Yes, sir, I did. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and if you're a parent of any age, you know that you're often surrounded by people, friends or otherwise, who they have some really strong opinions about how you should parent your children. And the ones that seem to have the strongest opinions are the ones who have no children. It's fascinating to me. You shouldn't talk to your kids like that. Do you have any kids? No. Well, what do you know about talking about kids? What do you know about talking to kids? Even if you've got a degree or 10 or 14 and you've never had a conversation with a kid, what do you know from that? I see it's not just in parenting, though. All right, I've done a little shade tree mechanicking myself. I generally change my own brakes and some basic stuff. And I have a pretty good working knowledge of mechanics and physics and that kind of stuff just because it's the way my brain works. But there are also those places when I take the car to the mechanic and I go, I don't know why it's doing that. And he'll get under there and bang around for a minute and come back and go, well, I think maybe you did this wrong. Oh, okay. Well, I can argue with him if I want to, but what good is it going to be? That's like going to my doctor going, no, I think it should be more like this. I'm not a doctor. Sure, I have a basic understanding, having been through paramedic and firefighter training, et cetera, that I know what the difference between a femoral artery and a basic vein is. But I'm no heart surgeon. Why would I not trust the professionals to do the job of the professionals? But I've had coaching clients who have been pastors and they've dealt with the armchair or with the Monday morning preacher, and I've worked with those. I have friends and have done some coaching with people in the NFL, and they know who the armchair quarterbacks are that have all the opinions about the way it should have been done on Sunday or over the weekend in the football game. And these are guys that have never done anything past high school. They don't know anything about football. They know what they think they know about football, but they don't really know about football. The same thing in the world of public speaking. I see people who can't string three ideas together, but they want to critique how many words you've used and whether or not you've used crutched words and what those words really mean. And they want to argue about the deeper meaning of the words and how they might impact people from neuro-linguistic programming perspectives. And they can barely say their own name. This week in the news, there's a young lady who played for the Olympic soccer team. She can kick a football 55 yards. Wow! That's impressive. I mean, that seriously is impressive. That's quite a feat. I mean, just to go from a round ball to an oblong egg-shaped thing and kick it accurately at that distance, that's impressive. So obviously that qualifies her to play in the NFL, right? Okay, I'm 5'8.5" and 215 pounds right now. And if I could run a 4.4 40, I might be able to be okay as a running back. But some of my friends are people who played, like Mike Kisilak. He played as the center for the Dallas Cowboys when Emmitt Smith, who was 5'8" and about 220, was the running back. And let me tell you something. That boy's big. If he just fell on you, you would regret it. These are the guys that are looking at somebody that's back there as a kicker going, if you fumble that ball and you pick it up to run, my 300-pound self is going to tackle you. And if I fall on you, you're going to know it. And I think I'm going to be outweighed by 100 pounds. And I've been hit pretty hard in the past, but not like that. I don't think I'm ready for that. Take another 100 pounds off of me and you have Carly, excuse me. She's going to be outweighed by 200 pounds. You better not just be able to kick the football. You better be very fast to get to the sideline before one of those other 11 guys hunts you down. That's pretty significant. But the funnier thing is the 1,200 plus comments on people who've never played in the NFL and have never kicked a football more than 30 feet who have an opinion about it. It's fascinating to me. Here's what I know about leadership. In the same way that there are those who have a quasi-professional opinion about whether a female soccer player should play in the NFL in an all-male game-dominated industry right now, there are those who have opinions about how you should lead and how you should communicate and how you should participate in your organization. And many of them have these grand theories that have never met the battlefield of experience. Leaders discover early on that there are a lot of people who have grand opinions, and their opinions are much like socks. Everybody has them, and most of them stink. And there's a big difference between that and those who've actually been in the trenches. And they may not have the degree, they may not have the labels behind their name, but they've been there and they've done that. And those are the people that you need to be listening to. There was another one who came out, I guess you'd have to call him a armchair quarterback, a Monday morning NFL pundit, who had all kinds of opinions about Andrew Luck's retirement. I can't quote it verbatim, and I don't even know all of what was said, but I do remember seeing the article with the frustration expressed by Troy Aikman. Because in those 3 consecutive, or almost consecutive seasons that the Dallas Cowboys made it to the World Championship, to the Super Bowl, Troy Aikman suffered a lot of significant hits before the rules of quarterbacks were changed. Contact to the head, contact with the ground, contact to his body. And Troy Aikman's a big guy. He's a big guy. And he said, I don't know who you think you are, telling Andrew Luck whether he's made a good decision or not. The man's thinking about his own life. He's thinking about his own quality of life. And as someone who's been where he's been hit like he's been hit, who's experienced the lasting effect of that, let me tell you, you don't know what you're talking about. Let that settle in for a minute as you think about yourself in a leadership capacity. Maybe you do have the title supervisor or department manager or department head. But if you haven't taken your insights from someone who's been in the trenches as a leader, whether it's in a life and death situation or a significant financial situation, maybe you need to reconsider whose opinions you're allowing to sway the way you think. If you are looking for someone who has experience in speaking, experience in coaching, experience in communicating, I'd love to chat with you. Yes, there are a lot of people out there that do what I do. Some of them are better than me, with more experience than me. Some of them are full of opinions, but they don't have any of the experience that I have. Just a thought. But if you're a leader, you better discover very quickly the difference between opinions and theories and experts who only have opinions and have no experience. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. If attitude is going to have a deep impact on your business and bottom line, make it a positive attitude with a positive impact. Visit jlorennorris.com/attitudehack